Okay, so we're here today with JMCrofts. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I definitely enjoy this video concept, so I'm excited to talk about some of the truly broken moves out there, not stuff that's just being upplayed by you folks at home. For the first game here, I'm going to go to a game that I've been playing quite a lot lately, which is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. There's like Ken Super, Ganajin, all that stuff, but I'm going to be talking about Makoto and the Karakusa, or the Karakusa, depending on how you pronounce it, her command grab. This move right here. This move is truly crazy. So yeah, I think most people probably know one of the main reasons why this move is so good is because obviously you can combo off it. So you can combo into all kinds of various damaging things, but most notably you can combo into her Super 2, which deals huge damage and stun, and you can combo off it. So she can get like TODs against certain characters off of this grab. She can get, one-touch stuns and huge amounts of damage. So that's like the obvious reason why the grab is good, but there's some other subtle reasons why it's good. I think in general, in sort of the meta of Third Strike, command grabs are pretty good because, there's the element of parry. Grabs don't care at all about parrying, so it's pretty nice to have this option. Basically anything but jumping is going to get grabbed. So that's nice. There's also the factor that you can Kara cancel for it, so you can extend the range. So you can grab people from like ridiculously far away with this Kara cancel. Yeah, it's crazy. Really the thing that sets this grab over the edge, I think, is just like the total frames is ridiculously low. Okay, so if the opponent sees the grab coming and they jump out, a lot of times you're still gonna have time to recover and not get punished. So like a lot of command grabs, like in general in fighting games, a lot of command grabs, if they neutral jump it, they'll be able to land and punish you. But not with Makoto. Most of the time, she is gonna have time to recover and parry or do whatever kind of guess she wants to do. So even if you guess right, even if you know that they're gonna go for this grab, you don't really get that much off it for guessing right. It's not like Zangief or something where you're going to get like a 40% combo on him because you guessed right in neutral jump. So yeah, the fact that this leads into so much, and even if you know and you get away from it, you don't tend to get very much damage on Makoto for it. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's it's not common, you're right. It's not common that you could jump a command grab and then the person who tried to grab you gets to do something. That's pretty cheap. You may or may not have played this game, but this is BBCT, and that move that just came on the screen that Arakune did, that's my first pick. It's the cloud that he has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that move is incredibly on it. Okay, it's very good in every version, but the most broken version is his original one because it has a hitbox. So you can't run through it or else you get immediately cursed. And then when he curses you, he gets hyper buffed. Like, he gets the bugs to control from full screen. So a big part of your matchup strategy is just trying to never, ever not once block the cloud. And the cloud moves independently of him in 3 different patterns that are random, which means, of course, it takes a lot of skill to use that move. And as you see right now, you can't get away from it. Carl's probably one of the better characters at dealing with it, but most characters are screwed.
Yeah, it's funny. I've only played 2 BlazBlue games. So I've played CF and then this one. And I think that this version was so broken that kind of like turned me off BlazBlue for a long time. So that's why I didn't play again until CF. All right, we're going to some Vampire Savior.
Ooh.
We're going to talk about Shenko Lei-Lei. Shenko's best super, probably her best move in general, which is Ten-Rai-Ha. First of all, it's kind of like a mix-up move. So the chain falling part hits overhead. Mm-hmm. So you can like make them guess. Like you can do low into overhead using this. But the messed up part is the ground pound is a low. So depending on the spacing of this move, they can get hit overhead or low. So already like it's kind of a hard move to block, and it reaches full screen, you can see. So it'll trip them even from full screen. In addition to just like the impact of the move, there's also, these falling spikes, and they're a little bit crazy. They're like kind of RNG. So the opponent doesn't necessarily know like these spike balls. How are they going to land? How long are they going to be in block stun? A lot of times you're like, okay, the move's over. I'm going to try to take my turn back, and then you just get hit by a random spike. It also OTGs. It's a crazy move. Even if they ground tech, like on Wake Up, they're still going to have to deal with the balls. And I feel like when you watch Sheko players play, this is like what they use so much of their meter on. She has other good moves. You know, she has like EX, Gong, and stuff is a good way to use meter. But in general, I just feel like this is the go-to. You just play this character, you hang out, and, you know, do like air dash pressure and stuff like that. And then as soon as you get meter, it's like, okay, now I'm just the Ten-Rai-Ha character.
Yeah, that's true. When I was playing this game, that was probably the hardest part about learning how to play against her. Because there's really no Q, like it just comes. So my second one is from Persona Ultimate X. So this is pretty uncommon for me, because usually when I use Persona examples, I use vanilla Persona. He honestly has like not just one of the best moves in this game, but I think one of the best moves in Anarch's game. I cannot stress how lazy of a move this is. So Ken's D button and C button is for Koromaru, the dog. So you only use your persona on like special moves. So this one in particular will run to you no matter where you are on the screen, and then he goes to like jump height and attacks, which is insane. So he can just not do anything, and you could be like running around, okay? And then I could just be Ken and just
It'll just find you.
It just goes to where you are. So you don't have to aim it. The good boy goes to where you are. So as long as Koromaru does not like make it to you, you could sit here and just try to mash on him, kind of like mashing on an assist in Marvel. And whenever there's a big enough gap, he's just gonna come out and attack you. Ken doesn't necessarily have to be the one like counterattacking. You can use Koromaru first. So you can use him for offense and defense.
Right. I feel like usually moves like this, they kind of balance it by making like the point character has to like do a pose or whatever to summon it so they can't block. But you can just sit there and block the whole time, and Ken is never actually like hittable. It's just the dog.
I feel like they learned their lesson with moves like oppose and stuff, where like you have to do something first. The final thing about it too is that he can do it in the air too. He can do it in the air. Yeah, that which is probably the most important part, to be honest. Is he could
now
do
he's
this,
off screen.
He can do it from off screen. It just doesn't matter like where he is. You can just do it. They learned their lesson. I'm telling you,
they really did. Well, I feel like this was like a big learning game for them. You know, they were experimenting with like auto combos. They were experimenting with some different stuff. So these ideas ended up being refined in later arcs of this game.
Mm-hmm.
We're going vanilla Geef. This is like probably Geef's best matchup in vanilla. It was Abel. And it's like unwinnable for Abel. And a big reason for that comes down to one move. All right, so I honestly feel like almost all of Geef's special moves in this game are really good. Like obviously SPD is always a good move, and it's really good in this. Also his suplex is really crazy in this because it leaves you close to them, so you can go for mix-ups and stuff after. EX Green Hand is like almost memeable in terms of how good it is, especially in vanilla. It knocked down, which is just crazy. Like, how are you gonna let Geef have like a hit confirm into a knockdown? Like, that's ridiculous. But the real reason why Geef was kind of a problematic character in vanilla, in my opinion, was Lariat. Lariat is an absurdly good move in this game, especially in some matchups. This is the kind of move where like it's good in every matchup, but in some matchups, it just like completely ruins everything. So you can see Abel cannot duck Lariat. This is crazy. Having a character that cannot crouch under Lariat, a lot of the cast cannot crouch this move. So it's absolutely ridiculous. If they are like just sitting there crouching, you can like hit with a late hit of this and it's not punishable.
Ooh.
So the fact that the big downside of this move is supposed to be that, yeah, you're like stuck in the animation and you can get hit. But because this hits crouchers, it hits multiple times and it's so active, like this move is so hard to contest. This is like Abel's basic B&B here, is he's going to do step kick, and then you're kind of like stuck in a bit of a mix-up of like, is he going to go for grab? Is he going to go for a block string? Whatever. This is like one of the reasons why Abel is good, is step kick puts him in like a point-blank mix-up situation. But Geef does not care about this. Geef's just like, whatever. I'm just going to Lariat. And you can see we traded there. This is another reason why this move is broken, is it's really, really good off trades, because you can go into green hand, which gives you a really good knockdown so that you can set up throw mix. So in some matchups, Geef is really impossible to beat. Like against Honda, gets really destroyed by Geef. Bison, a lot of just like the big characters that can't duck this move ruins a lot of matchups in the game. So they nerfed this a ton in the later versions of SF4, and for good reason, because it's ridiculous. I think Geef, he was kind of gatekept by the meta because, you know, like Sagat, Akuma, Seth, Ryu, these were like the best characters, and they probably had like the best matchup against Geef. But the characters towards like the middle of the pack, like, and obviously the bad characters like Vega and stuff, like they cannot deal with this guy at all. He's crazy.
A version where Zangief is good, I'll pass. Thank you very much.
I know, they never let Geef be good anymore.
So my next one is DBFZ. You know, we both play DBFZ. So one of the best moves in the game's history, maybe like a top 5 move in the game's history, GT Goku Spirit Bomb.
Oh yeah.
My best friend. Both combo and mix. The first level 3 to my knowledge that you could combo out of. So you could both either choose to mix, and there are so many ways you could mix here, or you could do like a fat combo to cash out, because you could do level 3 and then Dragon Rush, and if you had any more resources, you could just use them.
Yeah, I feel like it was definitely memed on the fact that base Goku Spirit Bomb did a lot of damage, but you couldn't combo off it. And it didn't give you like this same like intense level of Oki. So why is it better than base Goku Spirit Bomb? And it's easier to combo into. Like he can just self combo into it. I never really understood.
Yeah, that's when the game started to change, I feel like, too. Because we were like, how are you supposed to get this to combo? And of course, the combo monsters found out, and it just got really out of control really fast. Like this move is, I want to say, one of the defining moves of Season 2.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, do you think that they knew?
I have a feeling that I think they knew, but the thing is, the original way that people did it was with an assist or by spending a bar. But then later, you know, people figured out, like, the tag stuff, how some characters can tag into Spirit Bomb. People just found a lot of ways to go into it more efficiently, and I don't think they knew all of those. I think they knew for sure, hey, he can combo into it on his own, and you can use an assist, like, that's fine. And then we want people to buy him, so let's make it kind of let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck, right? Like he obviously they're encouraging you to get the character. I don't know if they knew how far this would go.
We're going even further back in time here. Ooh. Cable, Air Hyper Viper Beam, you know, like Magneto, Tri-Jump, Storm, Hailstorm, Sentinel, like all his moves are broken, but I wanted to go a little bit out of the box here. So we're going to be looking at Blackheart, and we're going to be talking about probably his best move. He's pretty top tier in this game. You know, I think like the top 5 in the game, Storm, Sentinel, Magneto, Cable, Iron Man. He's just like a few slots past that. So he's somewhere like between top 6 and 10. And the main reason is literally one move. It's this move. It's the demons. So this is his jump heavy kick. Jump heavy punch is like a different like arc of demons, but the jump heavy kick one is better. So when you see this character played, literally like 90% of the buttons that he presses is this move. And there's a few reasons for that. So you can see it goes down at this nice angle. Things that go straight down like this are pretty nice because the way this game works, super jumping is a lot better than normal jumping. So like normal jumping, it has a restriction on how many actions you can do. So you can see I can only do one jab. I'm not allowed to do more. And so this is why guard breaking happens. Like I wouldn't be allowed to block after this jab either. So I could get unblockable. But super jump height, you can do as many actions as you want and you can always block. Being at super jump height is pretty good. So having these moves that you can just spam at super jump height is really annoying, really hard to deal with. So he can really like fill the screen with these demons and be super annoying, super hard to hit. And it's a multi-hit move, so it can break armor as well. So this move is super annoying, and like 90% of his neutral is just that move. But there's one more thing that makes this move really crazy. Let's see if I can actually pull it off.
Come on.
My friends who play Blackheart can do this like so consistently, but I'm a noob.
Ooh. Ooh.
There we go. So anyway, you can loop that. You can't touch of death with that because they'll break out because of undizzy, but you know, you can like combo into super and stuff off of it. So Yeah, he has an infinite that is just this move, because this move like traps them. If you hit them out of the air with this move, they're like stuck in hit stun for a long time. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. This is the only normal move that is on my list. It's not a special, not a super. It's just a normal. But it does everything, and combined with assists, it makes him really, really hard to deal with. So yeah, big fan of Blackheart, and this move is a problem.
When I hear stories of before MVC2 got quote unquote solved, or at least like heavily developed, they're like he was always considered to be like a super good character.
Yeah, he's definitely good. He's just held back a little bit by the meta. Like he's still viable. People still do play him, like even with the really broken characters. He can hold his own. So yeah, big fan.
We're talking about my girl. It's Mitsuru for the fourth one, and it is her Coup Droit, which is a stinger, but not just the Coup Droit. It's going to be the one I'm about to do in a second. It is the B version of the move. This is one of the best moves in the whole game. This move does so much. This move is knockdown plus neutral. You could charge it. You could make it go full screen. You could make it hit shorter. You can control your knockdowns with it. So like in the corner, you could knock down into like looping Oki. If you hit people in mid screen, you could send them full screen and put like an Aegis reflector on them. Like this move quite literally does everything, and when you hold it, you can release it at like any time. So like in this example here, I'm holding it because I'm waiting for Elizabeth to jump, because she can't deal with Mitsuru normally ground versus ground because of the big sword. So I could sit there, hold it until she goes into the spot where she's vulnerable, which is here. I just go boop, and here comes my super destroyed hitbox. Yay! And then that's it. And then I just pull up.
What's the frame advantage on block on this?
So it actually varies quite a bit depending on how you hit it and how you control it, because you can make it go a little bit further or you can make it go really short. So if you charge it a bit and make it hit really late by shortening it, it is most definitely plus. I actually think this move from her is the reason why later Arxis games added, you know, like Guilty Gear has like upper body invul and like that's it, like it just like upper body. Where Blaze Blue instead has like head, body, foot type thing. Persona has an extra one, like a chest property specifically, like torso, and it's because of this move. Like more than anything else, it's because of this move and Mitsuru's jab, so that characters could actually fight back, because a lot of characters just could not deal with this move in neutral when they're like jumping and things like that.
I mean, this move is basically a super dash. It's just like you just close the gap and it's party time.
To be fair, it is a charge move though, so people are scared of it. I wish you could just do it, but you'd have to charge it for a little bit. But this character also has a bunch. She's like Guile in that she has a bunch of moves that advance that are long. So you do that, and then you're charging at the same time. So you're just moving forward all the time. It's sick.
All right, this was a game that was very near and dear to my heart. Tatsunoko versus Capcom, kind of the forgotten versus game here. And we're going to be talking about, I legitimately think this is the strongest move on my list. And it's really hard for me to think of a move that's stronger than this in any game. It's going to be Yatterman 2, the spinner. This is a pretty unsuspecting move. So the first most obvious one, it's a 3-frame move. The most privileged characters have 4-frame jab. There's only 2 characters in the game with a 4-frame jab. Everyone else is 5 or more. So this is faster than every jab. And you can see it's so active. So like, it might be hard for me to set up, but if you basically have this on the screen and the opponent like moves into it and it'll hit them super late, you can see it's like active the whole time the spinner's on the screen. And you can call an assist to make it safe so you can combo off it. And you can also see that it staggers. So when this hits the opponent, you have like all the time in the world to be like, okay, let me just dash up and hit off that. Also, this is a game that has what's called Baroque cancel. You can see if I have any amount of red life, I can Baroque cancel. So all of a sudden, this is a 3-frame. It's not invincible, but it feels like a DP because it's faster than every move and because the hitbox is like insanely huge. So this is like a semi-DP that you can combo off of. If you have any amount of red life, you can always make it safe on block. Also, it reflects projectiles, so you can't zone this character because it actually does act as like an Aegis reflector. Similar to Blackheart, this is like a huge part of this character's neutral. Like you just run around throwing this out, and what are they gonna do? Look at how little recovery there is compared to how long it's active. Like the total frames are very long, but it's really hard to whiff punish because it's just active the whole time it's out. So this move is crazy. It's honestly like upsetting every time you try to like pressure this character. She just throws this out. You guys trade, and because it staggers you, she gets a full combo off the trade. And she doesn't have good damage. That's like her big downside, is that she has some of the weaker damage in the game. But let's see if I can remember her super inputs.
Yeah, check out the damage on this. I'm mashing really hard.
Yeah, so she has. I didn't even do that much, damn. But her super can do like 80% if you mash optimally. So the fact that she has low damage is kind of counteracted by the fact that when she lands this, she's just going to build like a huge amount of meter on the follow-up combo. Mm-hmm. And she also has the robot helper super. So anytime she's building meter, she's building out this robot that will break your combos and come hit you. And the robot will also make this move safe, because like if they try to punish it, he'll just randomly go in and stop them. And yeah, also since this is an assist fighter, you can make it safe like that. So yeah, this move is crazy. It's truly crazy, like truly one of the best moves I've ever seen in a fighting game. So yeah, that's my pick, Yotter 2. We're back in Dragon Ball land.
One
Let's
more
go.
for DBFZ. One more for DBFZ. So it's going to be this move coming up. Hey.
The assist?
My boy, yes, Roshi B. In the past, like when I was playing this version, I was like, it's definitely ridiculous, but I don't think it's really busted. But I think in hindsight, I think it's pretty busted. What most people look at is if you didn't play Master Roshi, if you weren't around when he came out, it's a 2-hit where it has a lot of block stun. The first hit has like armor on it, so you can swing into it, but he's gonna counter you. So most people are like, oh, they have the standard usage of, oh, I'll like call Bardock. I'll do like Bardock Lariat and then call him or something. Like, and if Bardock Lariat whiffs, they swing and then they run into Roshi, and that sucks. And if you get hit, the 2 hits always connect. You get combos off it from neutral and stuff. So you have like a pressure tool and a mix-up tool, and you could protect yourself in neutral. I think the thing that really took him over the edge actually is, that's why I was laughing when I was looking up this clip, is this specific application right here. You remember in Dragon Ball, once upon a time, there is a character called the Enemy, aka Adult Gohan. And,
yeah.
What he used to do, reversal DP and then call like a fast assist, like a Yamcha or something. Or so they nerfed that. They made it so that you can't call assists very quickly after exiting block stun. So the specific number is 25 frames. After you exit block stun, you cannot call an assist for 25 frames. However, there is an exception. If you get a successful reflect, how long do you think that happens to be?
25 frames.
25 frames. And
Let's go.
You're invincible the entire time. So if you get a successful reflect, your whole animation is invincible. And usually when you exit, you can do stuff. So the guessing game was always like, oh, you can reflect again or mash or try to tag or whatever. But one thing you could try to do is mash an assist. But most assists are not invincible or have armor like Master Roshi. And most assists are not 2 hits and always combo and are like plus 50 like Master Roshi. So
that's crazy.
So that means this assist lets you not only combo easily and do high-low mix-up and protects you in neutral, and your character that doesn't have a DP now has a like Gotenks. This is a DP. This is legitimately I am DP
right.
Gotenks, and I get to sit there, and you spent your assist just for me to take my turn back. So we kept this, my scene, the New Jersey scene, we kept this on the down low for so long because one player actually found it without knowing what it was with UI Goku, and I played him. I was like, dude, this is driving me crazy. What is going on? And I went to lab to research it, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, and this assist is so good.
What I always thought was so funny about this assist is like, if you hit them at like a wonky height or whatever, Roshi just delays the second hit so that it always combos. Like, Roshi is such a bro.
Like, these little details of like, this hits at the wrong height, but Roshi is programmed to correct so that he won't do the second hit until they go in the right spot. You never have to worry about the second hit not working the right way.
Yeah, it's something I've talked about before, that I think one of the biggest differences between new games and old games is like what you get off of stray hits. Well, that and like how comboing off of stray hits was like a huge skill like separator in older games. Like if you could get like a stray hit with Magneto or something and turn it into a combo, you were probably a god. And then in Marvel 3, it was like a lot easier. In Marvel 3, it became like almost any hit would lead to like a TOD combo because there was so much freedom that you didn't have to have like, you know, the opponent standing or like whatever. Like you didn't have to land something in the perfect way. You could just always get a combo. And the new games are moving even more in that direction where it's like, okay, if you get any move that hits, there's going to be some consistent way to like get the opponent where you need them to like go into your standard optimal combo. Like Skullgirls is a lot like that too because it has the restand system. Like you can always turn any hit into a combo.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good point. Thank you, by the way, for doing this.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.